What's up, you guys? This is Paradox here, and this is the first story that I'll be doing on my channel. And I thought I would start this as a little series to kind of give you guys a little bit of background on some funny events that just kind of occurred throughout, my years. And this one hits really personally because I needed to call the cops. And usually, if you know me personally, I fucking hate the cops. So I'll just say that right now that I'm not usually like a straight to 911 guy. So yeah, let's get into this shit. So I had a friend, we're just gonna call him D, and we were in high school together, and of course we didn't see each other in years after we initiated our friendship in middle school. So it was kind of cool to kind of have like a reunion again and hang out in class. But we decided to take our friendship to the next level at that point and actually hang out outside of school. And by God, like, no fucking cap, it was the worst decision I ever made. So actually, no, there's plenty more, but this is just one of many. So I tried to find some level ground in the things that we had in common, and other than our love for GTA, the only other thing that I really had in common with him was horror movies, and he loved slashers just as much as I did. So I was like, fuck it, man. We should, like, hang out outside of school one day and watch, a bunch of movies and hang out. And he's like, yeah, man, I got the fucking setup and everything, dude. It's going to be, like, awesome. Here I'm expecting, like, some dude's, like, regular house or, like, some small trailer or something, because I never really had, like, any well-set friends. And, I'm not being, like, judgmental towards people who fortunately have that position, but I wasn't used to being in and around that environment. So, I thought it was just going to be like, a normal household, tiny family, whatever. But no, this dude had like a mansion, and his father, well, stepfather, I guess, I don't think it's his real father, owns a liquor store. So he had like shit tons of money, and they like lived in this really nice house, like a city outside of my city. So I was like leaving town for a night, which at the time I didn't really, have a problem with, because, curiosity as a kid, you just want to go have fun. So you never really think about anything. The only other times I really hanged out with this kid is like once or twice at like a few fairs, and all we did was just ride a bunch of rides together and just talk. He was like one of those people actually like going to like a bunch of them, which no problem to him, but I fucking hate fairs, dude. They're disgusting. It just smells like ass, fucking too much people, the food sucks, the ride sucks, being in the heat sucks. Fucking kids suck, yo. Like, I don't want to be around a bunch of fucking kids. Nah, just joking. The kids are cool, I guess, but I don't want to be around them. But we've been doing this like about a few times before he cracks the major plan where he's like, "Yo, we need to go to fucking Del Grosso's, dude. Like that place is fucking awesome." And if you don't know what Del Grosso's is, it's a stupid ass small fucking amusement park, if you can really call it that. If you consider two rides an actual adult can ride at an amusement park, and a bunch of stupid low riding rides, and the food's terrible and everything's expensive, and you kind of want to kill yourself every time you go. But I was like, oh, fuck yeah, Del Grosso's, let's go, woo, yeah. And he's like, yeah, man, yeah, you can stay overnight at my house, we'll like watch movies all night and shit. And that's the part that I was excited about, because like, who the fuck doesn't get hyped up about a movie marathon? The only thing that was missing at the time was me smoking, which I didn't start until like about a year after. So we planned this out for about like a few weeks, and we're getting excited for it, amping each other up in class back and forth as we're like kind of cheating each other off our math sheets, like a bunch of assholes we were. And the day comes, and it's after school. I come home, I get ready, I head over to his place, and we go to his grandma's place, which wasn't his place, which I thought was going to be his place. I'm like, oh, this is a little nice, small little trailer. Like, okay, yeah, cool. And he's like, oh, no, we're going to my actual house. And I was like, your actual house? I was like, okay. I was like, where is that? Is that like back in Cumberland, my city? Cumberland? Nope. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we end up going to like a city outside of my city. I'm not going to name the location. That's going to stay redacted and out of the picture, because I don't want to give away his location. But we pull up there, and it's a really nice house. And I was like, wow, man, this place is fucking amazing. And I was like, this is going to be a fucking great night, you know? I get my book bag, we walk inside, we order dinner from this place I never had before, and I can't even remember the name. It was that kind of out of there. And then his mom's like, well, I'm going to go leave and do a few errands. Leave you boys to it. You all have fun. He turns on the fucking Rob Zombie version of Halloween, which is complete dog shit, by the way, but I'm acting impressed, I guess. So we start hanging in the living room, and while he's choosing a movie, I noticed they had a pool table. So I told him, let's shoot a few games of pool, and, kick some shit before we get to sitting down and stuff. We hanged out about like 1 to 2 games, and he turns on this fucking Rob Zombie remake of Halloween, which is complete dog shit, but I guess I'm acting like I like it because he wants to watch it. And then somehow that extreme goes to another extreme, turning on the fucking Mask. And those are not even close to being related, even in genre, but the dude's picking out the bangers. Regardless, I'm not making fun of his taste or anything. We were actually having a really good time, kicking it up, having fun, having the whole house to ourselves. It was amazing for a while. His mom comes back. Nothing too crazy goes on for like about another few hours. And again, before I get into the subject, I'm not judging this dude's family or saying I'm better than them or anything, because I obviously been in some weird situations with my own family and myself as well, so I know how that shit is. So before I go any further, I just want to let you guys know, not being judgmental, just kind of retelling a story about one of my experiences with one of my old friends. So no shade towards him or his family. I hope they're all doing better now. So back to the story. Dee's stepfather starts to come in the house. He's coming home from work, and I guess at the same time, he can get pissed drunk too, so he's like sloss as shit. And, he comes in stumbling around, slurring his words. He's like joking around with us, and at first I kind of thought it was funny because, like, hey, dude's having a little too much of a good time, so we're all kind of laughing, kind of joking around. But then the unthinkable fucking happens, and this dude pisses himself in front of me, Dee's mom, and Dee. And I think Dee had a little brother there too, but I can't remember. Yo's went from having like the best time of his life to like instantly wanting to murder someone, man. It was like straight 0 to 100 shit. He instantly started getting like angry and screaming at us and stuff, so me and Dee just kind of left the room. We were kind of trying to avoid it, but he was patrolling the house and just giving everybody hell for what seemed to be about an hour, until it just started to escalate even more and get worse. I think I was upstairs by his brother's bedroom on the balcony watching it all go down from like the living room perspective, and Dee was, I think, by the staircase, and everyone else was in the living room. And, at this point, we all don't know why he's mad, and we're all not trying to press him, but at the same time, they were kind of, like, also semi-antagonizing it, why they were trying to stop it, and it kept making things even worse, to the point where the dude was starting to use, like, sharp objects on them, like, I'm gonna fucking hurt someone if you all keep fucking with me, and I'm just like, dude, this guy is just not having a good day. So I go further into the dude's bedroom, of course, because, if shit's going down, I'm just going to go ahead and lock myself in here until all is over. So I just get prepared because I already know this is not going to end well. And at one point, I hear like a moment of silence, and then they're back into it. And then there's like a moment of silence, and then they're back into it. And then there's like another moment of silence, and then it's like back into it. And it's just back and forth. And then I just hear, call the police! Usually I don't fucking call 911 because half of the time the police don't do shit, and I don't think stuff will ever really go down. But at this point, I kind of considered it, so I went into that room, I shut the door, and I called the police. I told them I don't know the location. There's a domestic disturbance going on in the household that I came to stay at, and I was just trying to visit a friend. They didn't really say much. They just said, okay, we'll send someone there as soon as we can. We'll track your device or whatever. And, I hang up, and I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting. This is, like, getting even more intense, even more almost, like, physical. Everyone's, like, locking themselves into places and, like, trying not to get hurt. And I'm just kind of like awkwardly in the middle of everything where I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to be part of this or I'm going to end up being part of this. So I'm just wanting to go home at this point. But no, D was so in clutch about tomorrow. So we stuck it out. Fortunately, like after like a really long amount of time, at least what it seemed like, but it was probably just like 30 minutes or something, we just hear like this bang on the door and this cop just starts cussing him the fuck out. Like, I guess this dude knew him personally and probably been here like more than once to just be like straight up sick of it, because this dude told him he was gonna knock him the fuck out if he doesn't calm down, and didn't even threaten to detain his ass. He just wanted to fucking punch him. And I'm just like, this has to be the most awkward sleepover experience I've possibly ever had. So I'm watching this go down. You know, the drunk guy gets, he doesn't get detained, he doesn't get arrested, but he gets calmed down and a warning. And I'm just like, great. So we still have to be in the same building with him and just hope that he calms down. Well, actually, he does. He goes into the bedroom, like passes out on his bed. And everyone tries to like leave him alone, and then my friend's mom's like, go upstairs, lock your guys in a bedroom and fall asleep. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. So now we're sleeping in a locked bedroom, hoping that a crazy drunk man doesn't come in and ruin our nights. We wake up the next morning, everything's kind of back to normal, I guess, other than like the trauma that we just fucking witnessed. And then we start to go to Del Grosso's. Woohoo! About fucking time. Well, guess what? We pull up there and Del Grosso's is closed. End of story. What the fuck? Sorry if this one seems awkward. This is like my first time doing these kind of videos. So the next few upcoming ones are going to be a little more different and obviously a little more organized. So leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. And thank you for viewing this. And hope you enjoyed this series where I'm kind of just telling stories and kicking it. You know, sometimes music just doesn't always do it for me. I had to do something else too, you know. We're all human. But drink water, don't do drugs, and have fun. Peace.